On a quiet, starry night, little Lily lay in her cozy bed, watching moonlight dance across her window. As her eyes slowly closed, she felt a soft breeze whisper her name. When she opened them again, she was no longer in her room, but standing in a glowing meadow filled with shimmering fireflies. A gentle, silver rabbit hopped toward her. "Welcome, Lily," it said with a warm smile. "This is the land of dreams." Lily looked around in wonder. The grass sparkled like tiny diamonds, and the trees hummed soft lullabies. "Can I explore?" she asked. "Of course," said the rabbit. "But remember, kindness lights the way here." As Lily walked, she met a shy cloud who had lost its glow. She gently hugged it, and instantly, it shone brighter than before. "Thank you," the cloud whispered, floating happily into the sky. Further ahead, she found a tiny boat by a golden river. It carried her across, singing a sweet melody as stars twinkled beneath the water. Soon, Lily reached a hill where the moon sat low and bright. "You have a kind heart," the moon said softly. "That is the magic of dreams." The silver rabbit returned. "It's time to go home now." As Lily blinked, she found herself back in her bed. Morning sunlight warmed her face, and she smiled, remembering her magical journey. From that day on, Lily believed that every dream held a little bit of magic, waiting for kind hearts to find it.
In a quiet little village, there lived a boy named Noah who loved watching the night sky. Every evening, he would sit by his window, counting the twinkling stars until he drifted to sleep. One night, something magical happened. A tiny glowing star floated down from the sky and hovered right in front of him. "Hello, Noah," it chimed softly. "I need your help." Noah blinked in surprise. "A talking star?" "Yes," it giggled. "I've lost my way home. Will you come with me?" Before Noah could answer, his room gently filled with golden light, and suddenly, he was soaring high above the clouds, holding onto the little star. They traveled through a sky filled with floating islands made of soft clouds and sparkling dust. Along the way, they met a sleepy comet who pointed them in the wrong direction, and a group of giggling constellations who danced in funny shapes. At last, they reached a dark corner of the sky where no stars were shining. The little star grew dim. "This is where I belong," it whispered sadly. Noah thought for a moment. Then he said, "Maybe it just needs a friend." He gently placed the star in the sky and stayed beside it. Slowly, it began to glow again, brighter and brighter, until the whole sky lit up with new stars. "You did it," the little star cheered. Soon, Noah felt himself drifting back down. When he opened his eyes, he was in his bed again, the morning sun peeking through his window. That night, when he looked up, he saw one special star shining brighter than all the rest, and he knew it was his friend.
In a soft, sleepy forest, there lived a little girl named Mia who loved collecting dreams. Not ordinary dreams, but the tiny, glowing ones that floated in the air at night. Every evening, Mia carried her small glass jar into the woods. As the sky turned deep blue, little sparkles began to appear, drifting like fireflies. Mia would gently catch them and whisper, "Don't worry, I'll keep you safe." One night, she noticed a dream unlike the others. It shimmered in rainbow colors and floated higher than all the rest. "Wait!" Mia called, running after it. The dream led her deeper into the forest, where trees grew taller and the air felt magical. Soon, she reached a hidden clearing where a giant, glowing tree stood. Its branches were filled with thousands of dreams, shining like stars. A soft voice spoke, "You found the dream tree." Mia looked around in awe. "Is this where dreams come from?" "Yes," the voice whispered. A gentle fox made of light stepped forward. "But one special dream has lost its way. That's the one you followed." Mia carefully opened her jar and released the rainbow dream. It floated up, dancing happily, and joined the others on the tree. Instantly, the whole forest glowed brighter. "Thank you," said the fox. "You have a kind and brave heart." In a blink, Mia found herself back in her bed, her jar resting beside her. Though it was empty, she smiled. Because she knew that somewhere in the forest, dreams were shining, and she would always be their friend.
On the edge of a quiet seaside town, there lived a curious boy named Oliver who loved the sound of the ocean at night. Every evening, he would sit by the shore, listening to the waves whisper secrets. One calm night, as the moonlight shimmered on the water, Oliver heard a soft melody drifting from the sea. It was gentle and magical, like a lullaby. Who's singing? He wondered. Without thinking, he followed the sound. The water glowed softly beneath his feet, and to his surprise, he could walk on it as if it were made of glass. Step by step, he moved farther into the glowing sea. Soon, he reached a hidden place where tiny islands floated like bubbles. In the center sat a girl made of moonlight, playing a harp woven from silver threads. "Welcome, Oliver," she said, her voice as soft as the tide. "Was that you singing?" he asked. She smiled. "Yes. I sing to guide lost dreams back home." Oliver looked around and noticed small glowing shapes drifting in the air. "Those are dreams. They sometimes wander too far," she explained. Oliver gently helped gather the drifting dreams, placing them back into the glowing current. Each one sparkled brighter as it returned. "Thank you," the Moonlight Girl said. "Kind hearts always hear the ocean's song." As the melody faded, Oliver felt himself drifting back. When he opened his eyes, he was sitting on the shore again, the waves softly touching his feet. From that night on, whenever he heard the ocean, he smiled, knowing it was still singing, and that somewhere, dreams were finding their way.
In a tiny house at the edge of a golden field lived a gentle girl named Sophie who loved the wind. Every day, she would run through the tall grass, laughing as the breeze danced around her. One evening, as the sky turned pink and purple, the wind whispered, "Sophie, come with me." She closed her eyes, and suddenly she felt herself lifting into the air. The wind carried her softly above the fields, over rivers that shimmered like glass, and into a sky full of floating kites. Each kite was shaped like something magical: a dragon, a bird, a glowing lantern. "These are wishes," the wind explained. "People send them into the sky, hoping they'll come true." Sophie smiled and reached out, gently guiding a tangled kite free from a tree in the clouds. As soon as she did, it soared higher, glowing brighter than before. "Thank you," the wind whispered warmly. They traveled farther until they reached a quiet place where one small kite hung low, barely moving. "This wish has been forgotten," said the wind softly. Sophie carefully held the kite and whispered, "You still matter." Slowly, it began to glow, rising up to join the others. The sky filled with color and light, brighter than ever before. As the wind carried her back home, Sophie felt her heart full of warmth. When she opened her eyes, she was lying in the golden field again, the evening breeze gently brushing her face. From that day on, whenever the wind blew, Sophie listened closely, because she knew it carried wishes, dreams, and a little bit of magic.